everyone. I'm Crystal Feigl, and today I'll be speaking about Washington State's paid family medical leave. I chose to speak about this benefit because it's still relatively new. From this presentation, I would like everyone to learn what this benefit is and how it works. That way, recent HR graduates and employees know the differences and understand paid family medical leave from family medical leave and from the Washington Family Care Act. Paid family medical leave is a mandatory statewide insurance program that provides almost every Washington employee with paid time off for certain qualifying reasons. According to the Washington State Paid Family and Medical Leave webpage, in 2015, Governor Jay Inslee secured a federal grant to begin designing a paid family leave program. In 2017, the Washington State Legislature approved this benefit, and the new law went into effect on October 19th, 2017. In 2019, a mandatory premium deduction of 0.4%, 40% of gross wages began. In 2020, the program was administered by the Employee Security Department. Employees were then eligible to begin applying for this benefit starting January of 2020. Paid family medical leave is used to care for yourself when you have a serious health condition that prevents you from working. So for example, if you have a back injury and you need surgery, or if you have cancer and you need chemotherapy. It is also used when you need time to care for your family members or a new child. For example, when you give birth and you want some bonding time with your newborn. Also, if either your spouse, kid, parent, grandparent, or your sibling is getting surgery and you need to take care of them. This also includes your mother-in-law and your father-in-law. It is also used for certain military-related events, such as spending time with your spouse, your parents, or your child before they are deployed. Even for childcare issues that are related to a family member's military deployment. People who are not considered family under paid family medical leave include your friends, cousins, uncles, aunts, pets, or neighbors. So this benefit allows qualifying employees to take up to 12 weeks of leave. If an employee faces multiple events in a year, then they can be eligible for up to 16 weeks. An employee can be eligible for 18 weeks if they experience a serious health condition during pregnancy that results in incapacity. Some important things to note are that paid family medical leave does not have to be taken all at once, but you must claim 8 consecutive hours of leave each week, or either claim 0 hours if you're taking intermittent leave. So say if you're receiving chemotherapy once a week, then you can claim those 8 hours each week, or you can use 12 weeks to recover from a surgery. Something else to note is paid family medical leave must be taken concurrently with family and medical leave. In order to receive payment, you must file an application for benefits with the Employment Security Department, and you must comply with all the requirements. If an employee qualifies for paid family medical leave, then the ESD will determine their wage replacement based on a percentage of the employee's average weekly pay. So for example, if an employee makes $50,000 a year, then they will pay about $2.44 a week through the payroll deductions. Employees can see these deductions on their pay stubs. If an employer has less than 50 employees, then they are not required to contribute with anything, but their employees are still covered. So now that we know what paid family medical leave is, I will now explain the procedure. Before even thinking about applying for paid family medical leave, you must find out if you're eligible to do so. In order to be eligible, you must have worked 820 hours in the past 12 months. So say if you work 40 hours a week, then you'll be eligible to use this benefit in 20.5 weeks. If you work 20 hours a week, then you'll be eligible to use this benefit in 41 weeks. It doesn't matter if you're a full-time, part-time, temporary, or seasonal employee, you can still be eligible. It also doesn't matter if you work multiple jobs or if you have switched employers within the same year, as long as those hours are worked in Washington state. You cannot be eligible if you're a federal employee, if you're employed by a business that is located in a tribal land, and if you're self-employed and you do not opt into the state program. Also, workers that are covered by the collective bargaining agreement that hasn't expired, that has been reopened or renegotiated since October 19th of 2017. You can ask your employer or union representative if you are not sure if this applies to you. And workers that are covered by their employer's approved voluntary plan. Before applying for paid family medical leave, you must make sure that you have all the documents that are required. You will need a form of identification, whether it's a driver's license, passport, or anything that helps identify yourself. You will also need a certification of serious health condition form that will be filled out by you and your health provider. This form can be found on the Washington State Paid Family Medical Leave website. It can take up to 2 weeks for the doctor to process this form, so it's important to make sure you give it to your doctor as soon as possible. You can also submit a Family Medical Leave Act form with a doctor's note. For military leave, the documents that are needed to be eligible is an active duty order. To bond with the child, both parents will need to use the certification of birth form. If you're giving birth to a child and you apply for medical leave before the bonding leave, then you can use the certification of serious health condition form for both applications. But the form has to have the child's actual date of the birth and not the due date. For family leave to bond with a child who was either adopted or placed in your family, you will need to provide documents from the court to show foster care or other documents that show the day of the adoption or guardianship placement. This can be a letter from a social worker or an agency. Employees need to provide a written notice of the need for paid family medical leave to their employer. The written notice can be sent by email, text message, or it can be handwritten, but it must contain the duration of the leave. For an expected birth or placement of a child or any planned medical treatment or of a serious health condition, whether it's for the employee or their family member, they must provide at least a 30-day notice before their paid family medical leave begins. If the event is not foreseeable, then the employee must provide notice as soon as possible. When applying for this benefit, you can visit the Washington State Family Medical Leave website. You will first need to create an account. Once you have created your account, you will either apply for medical leave or family leave. When filling out the online application, there will be some questions that ask about your employment. You will then upload all the required documents that I just talked about 2 slides back. Before submitting your application, make sure that all the information is accurate, because if it's not, then this will slow down the process. It usually takes about 3 weeks for the application to be processed. After applying, you can always check your application status online by logging into your account. The first status will be submitted, the second status will be in review, and the third status will either be approved or denied. The waiting, if you are approved, you can start filing claims for the weeks that you were approved for. You will receive the letter in the mail stating the weekly benefits you were approved for, and so you can confirm the days that you were approved for. The waiting week is the first week that you were approved. You will not receive pay for the first week, so you can either use paid vacation or sick leave. In order to receive pay, you will need to log into your account each week, even during your waiting week, and make your claim. If your leave is not continuous, you still have to make a claim and put the hours you worked for, or if you took any paid time off. If you apply it online, you will either be paid through direct deposit or with a check. If you apply it by paper, then you will receive a prepaid debit card. Your employer is not required to keep your job for you if you work for a company that employs less than 50 people, or if you have worked for the company for less than a year, or if you have worked less than 1,250 hours, which is about 24 hours a week for the company in that year before you took leave. But if more than 50 people are employed, you have worked more than a year, and you have worked more than 1,250 hours before you leave, then you can keep your job or have a job equivalent before you left. So now that we know about paid family medical leave and how it works, I would like to explain to you what Family Medical Leave Act and Washington Family Care Act are. Family and medical leave is for eligible employees of covered employers to take unpaid job protected leave for family and medical reasons. There must be 50 or more employees within 75 miles in order to be considered a covered employer. The employees must work 1,250 hours in the past 12 months. Employees are eligible for 12 weeks for the birth of a child, a newly adopted or foster child, or a serious health condition, or for any immediate family situations. They are eligible for 26 weeks for a service member or immediate family with a serious health condition. The Washington Family Care Act grants employees of companies who provide a paid leave benefit the right to use sick leave or other paid time off to care for their child under 18, or if they're an adult child who is incapable of self-care, or for any health condition that requires treatment or supervision. Also for a spouse, parent, an in-law, or a grandparent who has a serious health condition or an emergency condition. An employee cannot take this leave until it has been earned. When it has been earned, then the employer cannot deny it to the employee. But it cannot be used for personal medical leave, only for family members. And here are my references. Thank you for taking your time to watch my presentation.